episode of ZoeTV.
Yes.
Kay, you're back, and it's been amazing to have you 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks in a row. I know last week was your triumphant
time.
return, but like back to back, we got some mojo.
Right. Okay. So it always feels like whenever I do show up, I'm back.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I'm back.
Okay. So we are going to do what we did last week because
I love
we
it.
got a lot of love on our new segment of our resident spotlight, our new resident spotlight. We have so many people moving in. It's so exciting.
It is.
And I thought last week Barry kicked it off great.
Oh, he
And this
was
week
so
we're going to
good.
follow him up with an amazing lady, Del Rowe. She is already becoming one of my favorites.
Yes, I know. I heard all about you, Adele.
So Adele, thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, real kind of, the segment goes fast, but tell the viewers in Glencroft eyes about yourself. Where are you from? What brought you here?
Well, it came from the Pacific Northwest. I was living north of Seattle. And what brought me here was the fact that I was facing a lot of health issues, especially those dealing with chronic pain. And when I visited my sports medicine doctor there, he wrote it on a prescription pad that I needed to move. So,
Really?
I had been contemplating relocating back to Arizona because I've lived here before, and that kind of sealed the deal that I, for my health and well-being, I needed to relocate. And so I did research, and it brought me to Glencroft.
Wow. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. You said you lived here before, and I know just from our conversations, I think it was Prescott, right? You were living in Prescott Valley? Okay. And then how long had you been away? Like how much time did you spend in the Pacific Northwest? How many years were you up there?
I left in 2017, I think.
Okay.
But I didn't stay there long because I immediately started feeling the declining of my health when I went back to the Pacific Northwest.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Was it the humidity or?
Barometric pressure.
Okay.
It's not good for the chronic pain that I suffer with.
Okay.
So I decided that it was critical for me to relocate.
All right.
So
Glad you chose us.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to get into because you had a lot of choices going back to Prescott Valley, coming to Phoenix. When you were doing your recon and trying to figure out what the next step would be, what were some of the deciding factors on Glencroft? What drew you here?
The things that were offered that would benefit me personally and to get me back on my feet and moving again. Having the severe pain, you have the tendency to want to just lay there and not do anything to decrease the pain.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that you could be active on this campus in a safe environment.
Yes, and it offers so many opportunities for me. And the Performance Center, I actually called before I moved here.
Really?
to find out what way I can be helped there.
Yeah. Well,
that's
I know for a fact the moving truck hadn't even, I think, stopped. Like it was still coasting through the gates, and she had jumped out to book her assessment. But that's what we want. We love new residents just hitting the ground running, and it's hard. It's hard to make that move, and there's so much that comes at you in that first couple weeks. But the fact that you just jumped all in, I think kudos to you because that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and has it helped? I mean,
Tremendously. I am with less pain. I have not had to swallow pain pills.
oh, that's great.
I found a new secret weapon.
The chair. Oh, in the massage chair?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to just take 1 second to say I got in it the other night for the first time since we bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't want to get out. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
But you're putting your dues in to reward yourself with the chair. I think everybody should know that. This one gets up at 6 in the morning, gets her walking in. That's something we preach. Move, even with the heat.
Yep.
Get up early and move. Don't be scared of this heat and avoid it and just sit all day. And then you get down to the Performance Center, right? I mean, you're getting down there.
Yes.
How many days a week are you working out?
I am scheduled for 3 days workout, but on Tuesdays I do the pool.
Yes, you do.
And that in itself is kind of rewarding. It's non-impact, yet it has great results.
Right, she's killing it with the pool.
That is so great, all of that.
Well, what I think's fun about it is your energy you've come onto this campus with. I keep hearing about you. People that don't even know you are like, some new lady's running around. I see her everywhere. I saw her in the pool. I think that's the impact I know that you're making. So I think that
and you're getting
cool.
results.
Yes.
So that's huge.
All right, so we're going to get into the other thing that she does on campus.
Yeah.
She's getting her volunteer hours met so she can graduate Glencraft University by providing our day spa. Do you know she provides the day spa?
I did not know about the day spa, but anything with the word spa,
She is
I'm
like
interested.
our resident day spa guru when it comes to essential oils.
Oh, I love essential
Now, Lori
oils.
Farley, there's a lot on this campus that are really believers in the essential oils, and you have good, yes.
I am one of them.
And other residents have talked about them. We've done articles in the magazine about essential oils, but you've come in with some fire when it comes to essential oils. So tell the residents what kind of things you do to help yourself.
Well, I use for managing pain, skincare, just overall feeling good. I use them in diffusers because essential oils can be used aromatically, topically, and there are even some that you can ingest, like for digestion and things like that. So I'm kind of a well-rounded user. I don't use them for just one specific thing. And there's a lot about essential oils that that a lot of people don't realize, that not only the usages, but the type of oils you use. I like using those oils that are purer
Me too.
and more potent. And one of the things I use are those from Young Living essential oils I use. Because they have a seed to seal, which they own their own farms, they do their own distilling, and you get the pure oils that are not diffused to like sometimes you buy out of the store.
Right.
They have 5% essential oils. If it's okay if I
Yeah,
share
yeah,
some,
please.
what I would like to do
Absolutely.
is, one of my favorites I just received is the CBD oil base. And what it is a CBD oil base, which is the extract from the hemp plant, but along with that, it came with a lavender. I can put drops of lavender into the essential oil, and that gives it a aromatic smell, as well as its a purpose of helping you use these. Actually, I sometimes add in small bottles. I use the essential oils, and I may mix a mixture. Like this is the lavender and CBD oil, which I actually brought for Steve. He's always complaining about his
Usually they bring
neck.
cookies, but this is good too.
And another
You're gonna
is
love
the
it.
deep
She's-
relief I use for my pain.
Which one is that?
It's called Deep Relief.
Okay, I use the
And-
deep blue.
And the Deep Relief is really great because you can actually feel it working. And
Yes.
again, I use Steve as my child.
Ever since I met her, she's been handing me little bottles, and without question, I just start rolling it on my neck.
I use, because of the heat here and wearing masks, it's called Breathe Again.
Oh, yes,
Put
that's
a
a
little
good
on
one too.
and it really helps you when you're breathing to make your fresh in the air. And
that's
of course, you know
cool.
about my at-home spa. I use the diffusers.
Yeah, well.
One of my favorite eucalyptus, and
Yes.
it's one of my favorite in citrus.
She walks around
together.
with goodies like this
Yes.
all the time. And I am privileged enough to see her in front of me. She said, "Ooh, we got something." And what is the little squirt gel thing that we put in the water? It had a funny name. What was that?
Oh,
the ninja?
Nix, yeah, I always
Ninja.
pronounce it. But it is like a supplement that's really good for when you're exercising and doing things like that. Adding this little red
Yeah.
wolfberry blend into
Tell you what,
your
I felt
water.
pretty
or
fired
the-
up drinking
Did
that
you?
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet.
so
You bet.
the number of essential oils are just limitless, because you can think of the number of plants around, because essential oils are like the immune properties of the plants themselves. so we can take that and make something that's beneficial for us, that
Sure.
we can get some of those same properties that
Wow.
plants are benefit from.
That's very cool. I know you're preaching to a lot of our residents out there that are in the same mindset, and I think as we try to, especially in the ZoeLife lens, is steer so much heavy pain medicine away.
Yes.
And do that antibiotic stewardships, and we've been so proactive on this campus for so many years. Things like this just play into that mold of how
They
we
really
can
do.
really eat better and move better and do things naturally. And we've had a lot of lecturers come speak on that as well in the
Exactly.
universities. So, Adele, you are awesome.
Yes.
We appreciate you being here. We're so happy you made the move down. And you're a
Oh,
Cardinals
I'm
fan
happy.
now, right? You're a Cardinals fan, not Seattle.
Oh, you have to be a Cardinals fan. No Seahawks.
Just not. Just say yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Adele, everybody, we made a convert. Well,
All right.
thank you again. You are
Okay.
incredible.
Okay, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
Well, we have one of our favorites, one of our favorite
Absolutely.
staff members joining us, because one thing I really appreciate about Randy, and I'm not saying it because he's right here, is he is a truth teller.
That
And
it
I
is.
really like that when I've asked him questions about, structural, and I'm not saying you're not
You
a
know, I
truth
get it.
teller, but you'd be like, yes, that's perfect, we're going to do that. And Randy's a little bit more like,
Clinical.
we can do that, but here's what,
Yes,
here's your
absolutely.
limits.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
That is
the two of you
it's good yin
together.
yang.
It is.
So, first off, Randy, thank you for being here.
I was
We-
just going to say,
Well,
Randy Lewin's here.
we got to go. We got so much to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So, Randy, you've been on the show a ton. You're, as you said, the yin to my yang in terms of obviously coming from the clinical side, but wear a lot of the ZoeLife hat and the cultural
absolutely.
side of ZoeLife and how it impacts the clinical side of both Providence Place, what you're trying to execute on this campus for IL. So let's spend the first few minutes and talk about what are you doing in your day-to-day work life right now?
So right now I'm focusing on working through ZoeLife in Providence Place, and we're also working on a very big project, which is bringing outpatient to this campus for our IL and AL residents and the surrounding
communities.
community. You know, if they need it, we'll give it. That is a huge focus right now.
That's a big hurdle to move, but an
Absolutely.
absolutely critical one in a
Yes.
sense that so many of our IL residents that work with us in the Performance Center going off to Banner, going off to other therapists,
Yes.
and then we're playing phone tag with the PTs and the trying to understand what they're doing.
Absolutely.
When we need that all under our umbrella and our hat, and
Yes,
your team
yes.
working with our team, and that's what it's all about.
Keeping it
And
together.
convenience. I
Yes.
mean, not having to travel. For a lot of people, that's a showstopper. They
Especially in the
can't.
heat. We hear it all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if it's walking distance, we could pick them up in a golf cart, even better, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have already talked to several of the providers that work with a ton of our residents, and they are all in
That's so
sending us
great.
the
Yep.
referrals, and they're excited about
So
it.
we're to the point we're just trying to get the Performance Center licensed and get
Absolutely.
us, check all the boxes that
Yep.
we have to check on the back end to make that happen.
Absolutely.
So that is coming down the pipe. I think that's important. Everybody knows
Yeah,
that
yeah,
big project you're
it's
working on.
coming.
Right.
Be patient
We're
with
lucky
us.
to have you.
It's coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Head that
Okay.
up. I mean that.
Yeah.
Now, what I really want to focus on is the project, on the second project, third project, but it's a big deal to us, and that's working with the Magic Box and the
Absolutely.
Acuscope and the MyoPulse. We've spotlighted a lot on this show because it is one of the biggest initiatives we've had in ZoeLife this year.
Yes.
Is to bring that into the fold. So let's back up because we haven't had you on since we started this. We've actually been through
Yeah.
beta. What going in was your expectations, and coming out of beta 1, which was today, it was the last session they had with beta 1. What's been your impression?
Well, I was a little skittish.
That's an understatement.
Being the being a clinical guy and working with this new device, I've seen many devices that we use for therapy, from e-stim to, our ultrasound stuff and infrared and the whole 9 yards. Now, working with this, I was a little like, okay, let's see what it can do. After working with the beta 1, I definitely I definitely feel like we're seeing results, you know, and using it on myself. The one thing that I say, and I tell a person I work with, and I've told you guys several times, is that, you know, don't expect a miracle, but expect results, right? If your leg has been shattered in 9 places and you got 35 plates in there, don't expect to be getting those plates taken out because we use the machine on you. But you can very well expect to get some good pain relief, to move better, to function better.
So
You know.
what does the machine actually do in your body that changes that?
So it provides an not magnetic, an electrical pulse, right?
Okay.
So you have things like diathermy, which provide an electromagnetic pulse, right? But this provides, it's a milliamp, right?
Okay.
So it provides milliamps, and it surges into the body, right? Goes into the muscle tissue, and it helps to generate healing.
And
it helps to wake
the
those
cells,
up.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
the cells that
Yeah.
heal. So
Yes,
it brings the
yes.
healing
Yep.
to that area.
It helps to liven those cells up and get them healing and get them to a point where they can be a functional cell again. And so that's why we see a lot of pain relief, right? Because usually pain is inflammation.
Right. And the pain's saying, uh-oh, I need help here.
Yes, yes.
And this machine's like, I'm here to help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. You can
Very
use
good.
that.
I like
Okay.
that.
And it does a great job at it.
Yeah.
It does a great job at it. We have some with neuropathy that are, you know, have these feelings. Neuropathy is strange, right?
It is.
So sometimes you feel like you're standing on stones. Some people feel like they're standing on razor blades, right?
Right.
The burning, cutting sensation. Now, my lady that I see in the morning, when she told me after the first couple sessions, I don't feel like I'm standing on gravel anymore. I'm like, fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
You know,
the goal,
fantastic.
right?
That's
yeah.
the goal.
Because
Yeah.
you're right, with neuropathy, everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Nobody's going to have that same
Yes.
outcome, but you haven't seen anybody who hasn't, correct? Had
No.
some kind of positive,
Yep. Everybody that we've seen has had a positive outcome.
yes.
You know, some may be pain reduction just by a couple points, you know, from a 7 to a 5. But
That's huge. It is.
That's
when you've lived with
huge.
chronic pain,
Yes. Yes.
to have relief and to have hope,
Yes. I'll tell you,
I think that's the magic.
Steve and I did a little experiment on me, right?
Right.
I get headaches sometimes that'll last 4 or 5 weeks, and they're horrible. Well, the first time we did it, I had already taken some medicine for it, but we still tried a little treatment on my head, right?
Okay.
And then that night, I texted Steve. I said, "Man, I don't know if it was the medicine or what. I shouldn't have taken anything." I said, "So next time a headache comes on, I'm not going to take anything. I'm not going to take any of my headache medicines. I'm just going to try the machine." So I did. I let it go for a couple days. Steve says, "How was it?" I said, "It's awful." So we went down and we did it. And I'm telling you, it reduced my headache by about 60% by that week.
With no other medicine.
With
So
no
it was
other
really a
Yeah.
controlled.
Really,
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
I
was
love it.
phenomenal for me. You know, somebody that was a little bit skeptical going, "Ah," but it's phenomenal.
We talk about chronic pain all the time, whereas we all kind of experience it with necks, and all three of us, upper
Yeah.
cervical,
Right.
neck, and headache. And it's like for us to live at a 3, even though that might be for somebody else a 9, but for us to live at a 3 instead of an 8,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. And
I know.
to take that edge off some of that pain, for those with chronic pain, they understand it. Like that's to move it down from an 8 to a 6. Like
Yeah.
that's a game changer.
It
in
is
just
a
how you
game
do life.
changer.
What I've found too is we did a lot in Beta 1 with knees and back, just musculoskeletal stuff, kind of the low-hanging fruit for us to really just get our hands on this machine
Right,
and
yeah.
understand. And one of our participants, older, 94,
Oh, wow.
pretty much bone on bone, knee really bad, can't really get out of the scooter much because of it, and really decreased a lot this year with COVID. And we've been doing it in the full Beta 1, and she said, it might feel a little better, but not the miracle I was hoping for, but I got to tell you, my other knee is light speeds better. And we were talking about the compensation you have, you don't even realize.
Yes.
When you are working the injury and the pain, the other muscles are benefiting
You're
because
exactly
you're
right.
standing different, you're sleeping different. Like I think there's so many
You're
intangibles there.
relaxing.
Yeah, that's paid off. And especially she got thrown in a situation she had to go up a flight of stairs out of the wind because she had to do it, and she did it. She goes, I hadn't been upstairs in a year.
I
And
love
those
these
kind of
stories.
stories are anecdotal, but they show us there's power in this magic box.
Yes.
And
Well, and I know last week we had the magic hat that we took
Mm-hmm.
the magic names out of, and there were so many names in there, and we picked 5. Now, when did they do? Have they started
they
yet?
haven't. So we just finished today.
Okay.
Beta 1. So
Okay.
they're going to begin next week.
Okay.
Schedules have been sent out. They're rocking and rolling. And the difference on this one is, and it's like any of our beta programs, you learn as you go. And in this first beta group, they got 3 sessions a week to get 9. In this group, we're going to get 2. And that's not to diminish this next group, but we want to see if 2 sessions per week provides the same, because the way that we were trained by the brothers, the tall guys, and their training says that you can get really good results with 2.
Right.
And logistically, we've got 60 people on the waiting list. Like, we've got to be able to move the needle and get to more bodies. So if we can accommodate 2 people or 2 days a week,
Right.
that really opens the gates up.
Yes.
And so Randy and I are still leading it. Gerald's doing a great job. He's been hands-on.
Right.
And
He said
Michelle's
he's-
getting trained right now. So
Yeah.
the idea is more hands on deck to facilitate. So if you're on the list, don't get impatient with us.
We have one
We're going to be
machine.
coming up soon with another drawing. But yeah, I mean, we got one machine, and it's again, you did it, and we're paying $100 a session.
Yes, I
So-
paid for it, but I think the whole point of beta is to learn. So you're right
Yes.
to do it 3 times and now 2. I mean, you're gonna figure out what the magic
what's that
number
sweet
is
spot?
for the
Find the
magic
sweet spot.
box
with the magic people.
with the
With the
magic
magic
people
hat.
with the magic name. Yeah.
So Randy, we just got a few more minutes. What other initiatives are firing you up on this campus? So I'd like to go back and talk a little bit about Providence Place and our experience with that amazing beta group for this third go around.
Yeah, so with Providence Place, we started in there and we were moving and shaking, and then COVID hit us and everything. We had to put the Jake brake on, and it was, So our people that were on ZoeLife, they were getting frustrated, and they're like, we're sick of being in here. We're sick of being just locked in our rooms. And so when we told them, hey, guess what's going to happen? They were super excited, right? We have had such a good turnout with them. They have all been there. They've been on time. They've been working. We have made such good progress physically with them,
Yeah.
right? And I think a lot of it is driven by that mental aspect of, I never want to be locked in there again,
Yes.
so I'm going to work as hard as I can to stay healthy and, be full of life.
Yeah.
So we have seen, we've seen a couple of them that were at the beginning of this, when we started this beta, they were walking, we'll say 15, 20 feet. Now they're walking 120, 160 feet outside
Outside.
with a slight incline. So they're killing it.
Oh,
they
I
are killing it.
love that.
I think that this round of beta has been such a learning process for us because we
Yes.
added other elements. And
Yes.
we did add that walking path outside.
We did.
Even though it's hot. These guys on Friday, that's their go-to. It's on their schedule. They know they're going to do it. And we created its own around Providence Place. We measured it out. We know their distance.
Yep.
And they're thriving in that. And then what I really want excited to talk about is what they're doing with the drums, because that plays into her
Oh,
world
yes.
in the
Yes.
grants. But you've seen it firsthand. Talk about the drum class.
So Gary Miles over Activities in Providence Place, he leads the drum class. And that is one class that I make sure I'm always there for because it is phenomenal. Just the excitement alone, if you get nothing else out of it, right? Just the excitement on the faces of the people participating is amazing, right?
That's why
So-
we raise money for these things.
Exactly. So that alone is a huge winner. But there's more,
Yeah.
right? They are getting there and they are working. They are working out. After the first one was done, they all set their drumsticks down, and several of them went, "Man, we didn't know this was going to be work." And I said, "Well, you're going to be here next week, right?" Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. They love the music aspect of it, And music is such an uplifting driving force for everybody, right?
Everybody.
So they're sitting in there and they're listening to this great music, and Gary picked a wonderful selection of music it's fun and exciting for them. And they're drumming on these giant physio balls, right, sitting on a laundry basket with a weight in it so it doesn't go away. And it is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen in this business.
And do you have enough, or do you need more? Because we want to make that available.
I think at this point they're okay, but as more people start joining,
well, especially as AL, and we get a lot of the other memory care involved, we'll need more.
Yeah.
Because I've done drumming circles, and you know this, it's a huge help for cancer patients.
Yes.
Because they know that your brain really wakes up and helps your body.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that be big.
It's incredible, between the drums and the pool and the art and the walking pad and the therapy. I mean, it's
and
like
the therapist.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So Randy, we appreciate you, man. You bring so much to this campus, bro.
You really do.
People need to understand the heavy lifting you're doing behind the scenes to make so much happen for them in real time. So we appreciate you, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.